everyone! As you can probably guess by the fact that I am wearing 2 jackets, it's cold again. Some of you may not realize this, but I live in Texas, and this is like the 4th snowstorm we've had in 2 months. And it's getting a little insane. Also, I'm annoyed because I don't have school again, and I like having school. And I apologize for not making a video yesterday, but I had school and I was doing that. Today I'm not. So, here we go with an excerpt read by me, and it's not going to have any scrolling text this time. Here we go. Stupid sunlight, Guy thought. He didn't think a funeral should be sunny. It was too happy. Of course, it was the middle of a winter in Texas, which were apparently very brown and dead, which was good, because if anything had been green, Guy would have had to cry to make sure everything was appropriately sad. Victoria deserved that. Cory probably did too, but Guy didn't know Cory, and funerals were not for the benefit of the dead. Like Guy, Veronica had no special attachment to Cory, as she had never met him. But she stood dutifully with her sister and their mother. Their stepfather was there too. Veronica looked different from them, solemn, with her head bowed, but with a slightly superior air. She was the only one in the family not crying or being cried on. Veronica was also sadly looking around, trying to find someone else who was out of place. If Perron was leaving a note there, she wanted to catch him. Victoria was still and silent. Her hair was down, waving in the wind, obscuring her face. She was crying quietly, but had refused the comfort of her parents and sister. She stood apart, her arms wrapped around herself, as if trying to hold on to the memory of Cory's arms. Guy wished he had been able to prevent this. His head was full of images, death and disaster, war and pain. He knew he couldn't prevent it all. He probably couldn't even prevent enough to make a difference. Perhaps if he were able to remember some specifics, he'd be able to do something. But he couldn't muster up the will to try. Even if he stopped a person from being shot, they would still die later, no matter what. How pointless it all seemed. He thought about leaving, but images of Victoria were burned into his mind. He could bring forth memories of Veronica, but given his recent interactions with her, they hadn't happened yet. Victoria was Guy's entire world, and she was dangerously close to being taken away from him. Maybe he was just selfish, but hers was the death he would prevent. He would not be attending her funeral if he could help it. A shadow passed over Victoria, and Guy looked up to see a falcon circling. Victoria noticed it too, and looked up. Their eyes met, and one corner of her mouth lifted in half of a sad smile. Guy didn't know what the proper response would be, so he just tried to look comforting. The preacher said amen, which surprised Guy because he hadn't noticed the prayer's beginning. But he repeated the word in a whisper. He started to move over to Victoria, but she was caught in a crowd of people, and Veronica was in his way. And I'm going to end there because I don't feel like reading the dialogue between Veronica and Guy right now. Simply because I don't like reading dialogue out loud. So, that's all you get today. And I will see you tomorrow, probably. Unless I flake out again.